My name is Balance and I'm from the UK.
What first got you into beatboxing and what made you keep doing it?
Long story short, when I was younger, I'd make loads of little sounds all the time. All that kind of stuff. Well, probably not that one yet. But all that kind of stuff. And then my mum's friend was like, oh, you know, there's a thing called beatboxing. You can, you know, people make tunes out of it. And then I slowly started watching YouTube videos. And then just from there, just kept watching them and yeah.
From there. And then how did you get into looping?
When the loop battles first came out, I thought it was so amazing that people can make songs and all this kind of like music out of with a loop station with their voice. I'd watch Pancakes and Firebraz and blah 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 for everyone, and I just thought that's what I want to do. Beatboxing is amazing, but I want to do looping. And
what made you want to start competing at a professional level, and specifically what made you want to compete at GBB21?
Okay, so well, for my first one, it was UK Championships, the first one I ever entered. So I saw loops online. I thought, you know what, I think I can do that, and I entered. So there you go. And then GBB 2021 is the biggest loop beatbox competition there is, and you know I wanted to go for the competition, also the vibes, and speak to the people, and just have a great time.
Sick. What do you think is the best part of competing at GBB for you? Like, what is the best thing about it?
I'd probably say the experience.
Yeah.
I think I can just say that in one word. Just experience.
Sick. I'll take it. And how did you prepare specifically for this competition this year, and for how long?
With me, it's a little bit more difficult, and I'll be completely honest. I didn't have as much training as I would have liked to because of work and other responsibilities. But my elimination, which I think a lot of people are going to like and enjoy, was something I made last year that I've just worked on bits and bobs in the meantime. So I think that people will enjoy my round, or potentially rounds.
Potentially, who knows? Okay, and as a beatboxer performer, what do you normally do to impress a crowd when you perform for like non-beatboxers? And does this change for you when performing on a GBB stage?
Yeah. Because it's really hard for me to, unless I'm doing a show, it's hard to loop in front of people, so it's usually beatboxing. So I literally just do like a, or that, people like that. And like I said, different on stage is, well, it's completely different because I use my loop station and I can use effects. If I was showing someone something, I would, on the loop station, I would just show them without effects because that's easier for people to understand.
And then that changes on a GBB stage where you're trying to show all your skills.
Exactly, yeah, so a mixture of everything, you know, voice and also effects, you know, into one fine balance.
Hey, I like what you did there. How do you try to enjoy yourself while practicing, and how do you come up with new routines for something like GBB?
Random, it's very random. When I'm trying to make a routine, I won't be able to make one. I'll do something by accident and I'll go, oh, that sounds sick. And then I'll just make that work. And with me, a lot of the time is making the drops first and then the build up to the drop. I've always been a drops person, and that's why a lot of my old stuff is massive drop. But now I'm getting there and I can find a good, I've got to keep saying good balance, but a good balance of how to do the build up and the drop.
From that, what would be your advice for any beatboxer or any loopers out there who wants to put on a good show, who would like to put on a good show?
I think you've got to enjoy yourself more and not just say, like, I'm going to do this just to win, blah, blah, blah. You need to take a step back. And I think the only way for you to understand that, unless you're a natural performer, like there's some people who are just straight there. If you're not a natural performer like myself and you're a bit nervous and kind of stuff, I think what has helped me is just going to competitions, performing for different stages, and just building up my experience. And I react different now to what I'm on stage. For example, we'll see, you know, with this competition, I don't have any stress right now. Maybe it might be different when I go on stage, but right now I'm just like, look, I'm just doing this to have a good time. If I make it, great. If I don't, great. I've still performed in front of however many people on GBB21.
Besides performing on GBB stage and besides performing in front of beatboxers, where else would you like to perform your shows? Like, where would you like to see yourself? Would you like to see you performing it?
So, like I say, I'll be completely honest again. I do beatbox as my hobby. Not something that I would, right now, I wouldn't do it as my job, because my current job's more safe. So, like I say, I love looping and I love doing it in competitions. And it is, like I say, I don't do it just for the competition side of it. I do it for the enjoyment side. And I think to do shows, you have to have the right crowd and stuff. So I would have to branch out. And I think mine is more like suited to beatbox showcases and kind of stuff like that. I would probably stay more in the beatbox scene at this current time.
Fair enough, man. Yeah, fair enough. Where do you see beatboxing, or maybe specifically looping, going in the next few years? 2
categories for competitions. It will just, this will be a long conversation, so it will just depend on if they're going to have loop stations with just EQ, reverb or something, and then everything else, or they say, oh, the new loop station and everything else. You know, there has to be this line, which there is already conversations about it, but it's how you split these categories up, because I think it will be better, because it's like, oh yeah, but that's not fair, that's not fair. I do think everyone should be on the same playing field, etc, etc, etc. But that's another conversation. Yeah. That's a long conversation in itself. Yeah, interesting. With so many different opinions.
Yeah, so. And you're not the first person to bring that up, so I know. Yeah. I know what it can be. Before we finish, I've got some rapid, quick questions. Who is your current favourite solo beatboxer?
D-Lo.
Who is your current favourite loop station artist?
There's quite a few. I'd say Thorson, definitely.
Thorson. If you get into the battles, who would you most like to battle
Matei.
First? And who would you not like to face?
Frosty.
No. Fair enough. You're not the first person to say that either. And what is your favourite food?
Pasta.
What sauce?
Tomato and chili.
Ooh,
strong cheese. Oh, it's amazing.
Yes. And finally, please can you tell the people where they can follow you and support you and find you online?
Okay, so you'd follow me on Instagram at UK Balance. I'm on Facebook, I'm Balance Beatbox, and on YouTube, I am UK Balance. And if you see me in real life, you can follow me, just not too long.
Thanks, man. All done. Cheers, buddy.
All right, thank you.
Done. I like that.
Thank you so much for watching my video. I really hope you enjoyed the music. Shout out to Cone Gang, and obviously follow me on Instagram at UK Balance.
Good to see you again.